Dear students, today we will see about basics of Python programming. So that is what chapter 3 in our textbook, Fundamentals of Python Programming. Fundamentals of Python Programming. Now we'll see from introduction and then we'll continue the way how we can learn the Python programming. So previous class which we saw earlier, the way how we can install the software and how we can work with what are the different kinds of mode which we have seen like interactive mode as well as script mode, the way how we can execute the simple program in Python. Okay, so now we'll proceed with introduction. A Python program is called a script. Python program is called a script. Okay, and these commands are executed by Python interpreter known as Python shell. These commands are executed by Python interpreter known as Python shell. In Python programming, you can see the things like data types are inbuilt. Data types are inbuilt. Hence, which support dynamic typing, which means we no need to define a data type. Directly, we can define a variable and we can initialize the value. So that is what another statement here, which you can see clearly. Type declaration of variables is not required. Okay, so type declaration of variables is not required. And also memory management is automatically done. So memory management automatically done. Okay, so that is how brief introduction which you can see. So and also Python programming, which we call it as like a sequence of commands or statements or definitions, which is also called as sequence of statements or definitions and commands. Okay, so now we'll be proceeding with data types are inbuilt in Python. So that is why which supports the dynamic typing, and memory management is allocated automatically. Type declaration is not required in Python programming. So basics of Python programming, the moment when you see structure of Python program, structure of Python program. So like the syntax, the way how we'll proceed when we want to write a program in Python, you can see here clearly module. That is what predefined module which you want to make use. Predefined module which you want to make use. Then we'll start first with importing the module and the functions which we want to create, as you can create functions and the libraries. Under that module which will be the module which you say which consists of functions, variables, constants, all together, which we call it as module. Module can be used, predefined module, with the help of import statement. Okay, now general statements which you can see how we can make use. Okay, simple statement, compound statement which follows the indentation, that you will see. So along with the explanation, the way how we can follow the indentation. Okay, expressions. So what is an expression, what is an operator? So step by step we will see objects, how we can create an object for a Python. Now, so barebone of a Python programming. Just now we saw a different level of the structure of Python program, how it could be. Okay, now how it can be defined Python program. Now we'll see here starting with function definition, how we can create a function in Python. Okay, so by using keyword, first statement is a comment. Already we know that comment, how we can define single line comment by using hash character followed by string value, that represents comment. Comments will not be executed by Python interpreter. Okay, so next we started with function defining, that is def, which you can see def keyword. This keyword is used to define a function in Python programming, followed by function name, key argument function where two parameters are passed and printing those two parameters. Okay, returning statement, that is what the indentation which you can see here clearly. After the function statement, it must end with the function definition must end with colon. Okay, that after the colon, once you press the enter button which takes indentation, that is what tab space, 4 character space by default in Python program which takes place. Then whatever statements which you write, all together collection of those individual statements which we call it as compound statements. Compound statements, which means those statements are related to that particular function. This all three statements are related to this function which we created. This space before the statements which we call it as indentation. Okay. So now another variable which we define out of the function a equal to 20. So which is also called as an expression. Expression is nothing but which is a collection of variables, values and operators together, which we call it as an expression. Okay. Now print statement, calling in proper simple print statement which you want to print, then function which we define we are calling here, and print the calling is opposite sequence, again we are calling the function. Okay, this all together general statements which we call it as general statements, but here within the function which we define compound statements. Now what exactly the Python program which contains? A Python program contains the following components. A Python program contains the following components like expression, statement, comments, function and block and indentation. Block and indentation. Python program contains the following components: expression, statement, comments, function, block and indentation. Now, so we'll see one by one which we learned the structure of that Python program. First one is like expression, which is evaluated and produce the result, which evaluates the expression and then which produces the result. Example which we have taken, 20 plus 4, which enclosed with parenthesis and divided by 4. So that complete expression will be evaluated and which will give you the result once you execute through the interactive mode or a script mode. Then what is a statement? Instruction that does something. Instruction that does something like printing a message, assigning a value to a variable, all which we call it as statement. So example a equal to 20, the variable which we defined, we initialized the value. Then print statement, simply printing the message. Then what is a comment? So which is readable for programmer but ignored by Python interpreter. So already which I was told you that comments will not be executed by Python interpreter. So you can see comments, which is a readable for programmer, which helps the programmer to understand what it does, that particular statement which we specify the comment. Okay. So but it ignores by Python interpreter. Single line comment, how we can specify? Single line comments which begins with hash sign followed by the statement, and multi-line comment, that is what which is also called as document string, doc string, simple form. Either write multiple line beginning with hash sign or each. So when you are using hash character, each line which you need to specify the hash, or so use triple quoted multiple line. Example like which you can see. We can have multiple single line code or double line code, okay, followed by the message which you want to write it in multiple lines. At the end of the last statement you can enclose with again the triple quote. Okay, so that becomes doc string or multi-line comment in Python. So generally there is no direct multi-line comment in Python programming, but the string value which you want to define by using triple quote, so without assigning the statement with any string variable, if you make it as statement, then that becomes a comment in Python programming. Now, we'll see the function. A code that has some name and it can be reused. That is what which we call it as a function. A code that has some name and it can reuse. Example, the function which we created, key arg function in above program which I have taken an example. So block and indentation, group of statements is called block. Indentation at same level create a block. So all three statement of key arg function which we made it, that becomes indentation in Python program. Comments. So comments can be used to explain Python code. Comments can be used to make the code more readable. Comments can be used to prevent execution when testing code. So creating a comment starts with a hash character and Python will ignore them. So examples which we can see here, which we wrote the examples. So single line comment has, this is a comment, this statement will not be executed. Then printing a message, print hello world. Comments can be placed at the end of a line and Python will ignore the rest of the line. So for example, instead of writing these two different statements, you can write it into a single one statement followed by comment. That is what you can see below the example. So print hello world followed by comment. This is a comment. So comments does not have to be text to explain the code. It can also be used to prevent Python from executing code. Okay, comments does not have to be text to explain the code. It can also be used to prevent Python from executing code. Okay, so that is how about comments. Okay, continues. Multi-line comments. Python does not really have a syntax for multi-line comments. To add a multi-line comment, you can insert a hash character for each line. So example below you can see. So each line which we specified has, then print statement are not quite as intended. You can use a multi-line string since Python will ignore string literals that are not assigned to a variable. So you can add a multi-line string so by using triple quotes in our code and place your comment inside it. Within the triple quote, we can place the string value that becomes triple quotes comment, multi-line comment. Instead of writing each line hash character, that is not good habit of writing in a program. That is the reason which we go for a multi-line comment directly, which won't support. But the way how string literal is defined with the help of triple quote, same thing if you are not assigning to any variable, which will be considered multi-line comment in Python. Okay, so as long as the string is not assigned to a variable, Python will read the code but then ignore it, and you have made a multi-line comment. Now, Python basics. Python 3.0 was released in 2008. Although this version is supposed to be backward incompatible, later on many of its important features have been backported to be compatible with version 2.7. Even though 3.0 version was introduced, there are some of the functionalities which won't support, so which supports more flexible manner in 2.7. So Python character set. So what is character set? A set of valid characters recognized by Python programming. A set of valid characters recognized by Python programming. Python uses a traditional ASCII character set. Python uses the traditional ASCII character set. ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay. So the latest version recognizes the Unicode character set. The ASCII character set is subset of the Unicode character set. So ASCII character, it won't support all the languages, and this Unicode character set which supports the many languages throughout the world. Okay. So now, so characters recognized by valid characters. Examples like letters, alphabets, uppercase letters A to Z, lowercase letters A to Z, digits 0 to 9, that is numbers, and special symbols which make use of special symbol available over keyboard. Okay, so white spaces like bank space, tab, carriage written, new line, form feed, and other characters of Unicode. So ASCII value of 256 ASCII values, along with that Unicode character set also, which supports Python programming. Indentation. So indentation refers to the spaces applied at the beginning of a code line. So indentation refers to the spaces applied at the beginning of a code line. So that is what which I was shown you the function definition. In other programming languages, the indentation in code is for readability only. So the indentation which we can use other programming languages like C, C++, Java, .NET and all. So which gives you like program readability only. Whereas the indentation in Python is very important. Otherwise you will get an error. So Python uses indentation to indicate a block of code are used in block of codes. Okay. So example which you can see. So if statement which it was written. Okay. If condition also, if keyword followed by the condition, and then we must specify the colon, then print statement. This print statement comes under the if condition. It is not intended properly. So the example 2 which you can see clearly. So in this, if a condition which we applied, if started condition, then colon, then you can see here the moment when you press the enter, then with the space which was taken preceding with print statement, this is what indentation. Okay, this is what indentation. So here you will not get an error, but here in this example you will get an error if you write such a way that token, smallest individual unit in a program is known as token. Smallest individual unit in a program is called a token. So, and also you can say smallest element in a Python, whatever element, it may be alphabet or it may be a value, numeric value. So altogether which we call it as token. So variable which you define a equal to 10, which is also a token in a program. Okay, so that is how token which we call it as. There are different kinds of tokens which we call it as, like keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, functionators. Okay, now identifiers, the moment when you say identifiers, like the name of a variable or constant or a function or a module or a class in Python is called identifier. Okay, so examples I will see. uh, Same way, keywords, all the predefined keywords. So examples already which we use, print function, multiple examples, the way how we executed basic hello world sum of two numbers program. So there are around 34 to 37 keywords which you can see in our textbook, which they are mentioned, predefined keywords. And literals. Okay, so a fixed numeric or non-numeric values is called a literal. A fixed numeric or non-numeric values is called a literal. That is what the numbers also called as a literal. So string alphabets which is also called as literal, and the operators which we use, that is literal. Okay, then an operator is a symbol or a word that performs some kind of operation on the given values, and returns the result. So operator is a symbol or a word, so which performs some kind of operation and then which prints from the given values, which calculates and which will result. Okay, so that is what operator. Examples like basic arithmetic operators, symbols like addition, subtraction, plus, minus, multiplication, into, then division, forward slash, modulus, percentile symbol, like this which we use operators. Then punctuators, are which is also called as delimiters, which is are also called as symbols which can be used as separators of values, which can be used as separators of values, or to enclose some values, so examples like parenthesis, curly brace, brackets, semicolon, comma, colon, these all are called as punctuators. We'll get into it now. So keywords are reserved words. Each keyword has a specific meaning to the Python interpreter. Keywords are reserved words. Each keyword has specific meaning to the Python interpreter. A Python is case sensitive. Keywords must be written exactly as given in table. A Python is case sensitive language. Keywords must be written exactly as given in table. Reverse word of the compiler or interpreter, reserved word of the compiler or interpreter which can't be used as identifier. So predefined keywords we are not supposed to make use as an identifier or a function or a constant. So for example, none. So none is a keyword, predefined keyword. So equal to 10, it is wrong because none is a keyword in Python programming. Okay, so you can see the table which was represented keys like false, class, finally, is, written, none, continue, for, lambda, try, so break, okay, so import, pass. These all are keywords, predefined keywords. These all are predefined keywords in Python programming. So identifiers. A Python identifier is a name used to identify a variable. A Python identifier is a name used to identify a variable, function, class, module or other object. An identifier starts with a letter uppercase A to Z or lowercase a to z or an underscore followed by 0 or more letters, underscore and digits 0 to 9. So Python does not allow special characters. Python does not allow special characters for other than alphabets, underscore and digits 0 to 9 in your variable name or constant name. Then identifier must not be a keyword of Python programming. So identifier must not be a keyword of Python programming. Python is case sensitive programming language, thus roll number and roll number are two different identifiers in Python. Okay, these two are not same because started with uppercase alphabet or lowercase alphabet, so which will not be considered as same in Python programming. So examples you can see here below, some valid identifiers, my book. It should not be any space in identifier name. Okay, file 123 z2 td date underscore 2 underscore num. These are valid identifiers. Some invalid identifiers, 3D graph, roll number, first name, because here we used a special character hash. Hash is used to define only for comments in Python programming. So this hash special character, which is also not called as a token in Python. Then name, first space name, because a space which we provided, which will not be treated as a variable name, and d.o.b, date of birth, which we specified, and while. While is a keyword again in Python programming, so which we are not supposed to make use. Some other additional conventions of identifiers. Class name starts with an uppercase letter. All other identifiers start with lowercase letter. So starting an identifier with a single leading underscore indicates that the identifier is private. Okay. The identifier which starts with underscore or one underscore character, that becomes a private variable in program. So this concept will be understood, this private member variable, when you proceed with advanced concept of Python programming, object oriented programming, which we call it as. Starting an identifier with two leading underscores indicates a strong private identifier. If the identifier also ends with two trailing underscores, the identifier is a language defined special name. Literals. Already we know the brief about literals. Literals in Python can be defined as number, text or other data that represents values to be stored in a variables. Okay. You can see here examples of different kinds of literals. Example of string literals in Python. Name equal to Johnny. First name equal to Johnny. Example of integer literals in Python, that is numeric literals, which we call it as variable initializing the value a equal to 22, a is equal to 22, a is equal to 10, a equal to 20. These all are examples for integer literals. Same way, example of float literals in Python. So height equal to 6.2, width equal to 10.5. Like this examples which you can see. Example of special literals in Python. Name equal to none. So which means there is no value. None represents no value in Python programming. It is not even number 0, which is not in false, and that is how none, that once it comes to the data types of Python programming, we will see more about none. So literals, escape sequence or blacks as characters constants. Escape sequence description, which you can see the different kinds of escape sequences which we can make use in our Python program. So two backward slashes that represents backslash, backward followed by single quote representation. Same way double quote, the symbols which you can make use, ASCII bell symbol slash a backward slash followed by a backward slash followed by b, ASCII backspace. In your keyboard you will see the backspace, and same way form feed backward slash followed by f character slash n, which represents line feed, that is what new line, then slash r carriage written, slash t horizontal tab space, slash v ASCII vertical tab, slash 3 O alphabets when you represent, which is nothing but character with octal value. Okay, so memory units, when you know the binary language how it converts that octal representation, hexa binary conversions, then you will come to know what is octal value. Same way hexa backward slash hex followed by two hex characters, which represents character with hex value, character with hex value. Escape sequence example. Escape sequence example. So how can write by using print statement, which you can see the multiple escape sequences which we used here. So first print statement, line 1 slash line 2 line n, that is what which you will see here, backslash, then two backward slashes which represents to print of that backslash, and single quote the way how we can represent as, then double quote how it can be printed, then bell symbol, then hello world, that is what backspace which takes place, then new line slash n which cutted the hello word into two lines, then you can see slash r, that is how space which takes carries written, then slash t we can see another line tab space between hello and world, then vertical tab which you can see again. Okay, so slash v represents vertical tab. Then we'll see octal representation, the values, octal values which we represent 3-digit format, backward slash followed by 3-digit. So each one represents one character, then you will get finally as an output hello world. Same way hexa value which you can see how we can make use this particular characters hexa values to represent the hello world message, hello world message. So this is how escape sequences which you can make use in Python programming, in Python programming. Okay, so now we'll stop here, then we'll continue another class the way how we can make use variables. So that's all the day. We'll continue next class.